Okay, so we're gonna have some fun today. I'm sitting here with Tim Nadeau, General Manager, West End Nissan. For the record, the whole video is shot strictly through the iPhone with a little bit of accessories.
It is. It's an iPhone right there.
Perfect. So we're just sitting here at the dealership today. You know, it's a typical Tuesday. I mean, we're having fun. A little bit cold here in Edmonton, Alberta, and we're just gonna speak on the subject of some digital marketing. Tim is a part of the top 5% of GMs who are embracing the new way of advertising in the automotive industry. So just want to get some thoughts. So we'll turn over to Tim and he can kind of fill us in.
Digital marketing is the way of the future. We've talked about that. I think with the social media, our phones, the iPhone, for example, that is our biggest advertising tool that we can get our information, and what we need to our customers is via that tool. Right from my 10-year-old on up, they're using iPads, iPhones, Androids, whatever it is. They're always on one of those devices, and the traditional way of advertising is still valuable. It still has its place in our marketplace, but it's definitely dwindled to the point that it's still important, but we have to change our focus. We have less customers coming into our showroom on a regular basis. We talked that on a Saturday we used to, this is going back 5-10 years ago, have 20-30 people in our showroom on a Saturday and sell 10 or 15 cars.
Huge.
Now we sell 10 or 15 cars and we maybe have 16-17 people show up in our showroom, because those people that are walking in are already ready to buy. They already know what they're doing.
Done their homework. They've
done everything, and they've usually done it either on their computer at home or on their phone, or we see people on their phone at the dealership, in their car, and even at the sales desk. So it's huge. We got to get to those customers some way, somehow. And social media, the digital way, all those mediums, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, we have to get an image out there of the dealership so when people come in here, they feel comfortable.
So dealers, fact is that your average car buyer is researching 3 to 6 months out prior to purchase. Another huge fact, and I always look at this, is if I'm in the market to buy a Ford or a Nissan or a Chev or a BMW or whichever, along my path to purchase, 51% of customers change the actual vehicle they set out to buy. That's huge. So there's some sort of content or something is intercepting them in the path to purchase. I mean, what do you think that is?
I think it's the information they get. When they see something they like, for example, they see a commercial. Super Bowl was just on. They see a commercial that they like, and they start researching that vehicle, and then they start, they see a link to something else, or they go to some review website and they'll give 4 different vehicles to review, and then they see another vehicle and they click on that one, and then they do the research, and then they it's a funnel. Everybody talks about a funnel on marketing and advertising. It's been around forever, but they slowly funnel themselves down to the point where they do the research on that one specific vehicle that keeps drawing them to it. Hopefully it's our vehicle. Hopefully it's a Nissan product. But if we aren't out there in the digital world and the digital mediums to kind of intercept and kind of funnel them towards us, we're missing out that opportunity, because if somebody's doing a better job in the digital world, guess where they funnel towards? It could be our competitors. It could be another Nissan dealership for all that matters if they like their Rogue, but they're just getting pushed that way.
Yeah, huge. So with other dealers that are kind of a little bit old school, I mean, switching over to the new school, a lot of sales guys have been in the industry forever, saying that, hey, we're going to start chopping our traditional advertising, radio, TV, paper, and we're going to start doing this Facebooking and this tweeting and this Instagramming. I mean, if I'm an old school sales guy who's been in the industry for 20-25 years, I'd probably tell my GM to kind of go pound sand. So I mean, how do you get that into the culture of the actual dealership?
It starts from the top, right from myself. I may not look it, but I've been in the car business for almost 20 years myself. So I've seen the change. I've seen the adaptation of it.
But what moment did you realize the change? Like, when did you actually start realizing, like, okay, this is changing? Like, some people say, okay, we know we have to change, we see this coming, but what actually turned on the light bulb to say, well, I'm going to actually have some intent behind this now and have that action?
You know what? It's almost my personal experience.
Yeah.
A lot of it had to do with, you have to be a student of the business if you want to be successful. That's my philosophy.
Yeah.
And you just you spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on advertising every year, and you're just going, where am I getting my customers from? And where am I seeing the biggest impact? Where am I seeing the most interaction? And even for myself, I've been in the business for a very long time, and I have people, they don't contact me the traditional way anymore.
Yeah.
It's usually Facebook or Twitter or you know, text messages. It's all by my phone. And you know, I communicate with my kids that way now, and they're 10 and 12, and they're FaceTiming me and the such, and I'm going, well, if that's the way I'm communicating with the people involved in my life, and my mom is doing it, the grandmother to my kids is doing that with them, I'm going, why are we putting so much information into the newspaper where people really aren't looking at it as much as they used to? And I get in my car and I drive home at night, and usually I'm not listening to a traditional radio station. The reason I do is to listen for other car ads.
Interesting.
It's not for my entertainment. It's more.
So let's back up. So we have car guys listening to car guys commercials.
Yeah.
Which probably is not going to lead to a sale if your competitor's listening to your advertisements.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting point. Like, I mean, why would you do that? Why do you listen to other car guy ads?
You just want to see what everybody else is doing, right?
Yeah.
Just to get a comparison. But the biggest thing is the last 2-3 years, and this has been around for a long time, when you get into a car, you appraise a car, you see what radio station they're listening to. And XM radio is just, everybody gets it. And you get it for free on almost every new car that you purchase, whether it's a Nissan or a Ford or, any brand out there. So, XM radio, and we talk about our devices. My daughter hooks up her iPhone into my car whenever we go anywhere so she can listen to her music.
So we have to rewind here. So in a used car appraisal, you would listen to what station that the customer has playing.
Absolutely.
So the reason I would assume you would do that is because you're trying to figure out where you need to be and where the customer is.
Absolutely.
So that hopefully your paths can cross.
Yeah.
Marketing 101.
Yeah.
Right? Where's the customer? We need to be there. Sales funnel, considering an engagement, means that, hey, if we're not even in the ring fighting or punching, we have no chance at the customer at all. So I find that interesting. So now, where do you think the customers are?
Customers are, because there's so much out there, they're all over the place. They're listening to XM radio, they're listening to their iPods. And because in our marketplace, specifically in Edmonton, we have so many radio stations, for example, and I'm talking specifically about radio. I think it's a great medium, but they channel surf. They shuffle their channels just as fast as we shuffle songs on our iPod. So if a commercial comes on, there's 3 other radio stations playing similar music. Where are they going to go? Are they loyal to that radio station?
Interesting.
That's my philosophy. Whether I'm right or wrong, I guess that's proof is in the sales. Last year we finished 3rd in the nation for Nissan. So, it's not that I'm talking to something that other dealerships aren't doing.
So how many dealers are in the nation, do you wonder? How many Nissan?
Hundreds.
Like hundreds.
Yeah,
hundreds.
hundreds.
How many Nissan dealers are in Ontario alone? Because I think Ontario is like 75% of the population of Canada.
Well,
So congrats.
out of the top 3, 2 were in the Edmonton market.
Wow.
So, or top 3, I should say.
Interesting.
2 were based in Edmonton. So, when we talk about Edmonton specifically, we're talking about a huge market.
Huge.
Whether it's Nissan as a manufacturer or as a market as a whole, it's a driving force in our economy.
Huge.
Period.
How many people come back and how many people come here for work, buy a vehicle here, and then drive it back home? Not a lot of people think about it that way.
True.
You come in for Fort McMurray, you're working, you do your, they come in, they buy the vehicle here, and then they take it back to Ontario or wherever they're from.
We sell lots out of our marketplace. Fort McMurray's huge. We all know that. It's economic driver for the whole country. And we get phone calls probably, I wouldn't say every day, but every couple of days we're getting phone calls, internet leads from Fort McMurray. Now they aren't reading our newspaper. They aren't listening to our radio stations. So how are they finding out about West End Nissan specifically?
Interesting.
So I gotta believe that the power is in our internet, our social media, our digital presence is how they're getting funneled towards us. If they're looking, if they're from Edmonton or they're coming to Edmonton because they want to get out of Fort McMurray, which a lot of them do for a break, vacation, get away, shopping, whatever. They're going to look to see where they can buy the car that they've kind of funneled themselves to. And, if our digital presence is big enough, who are they going to call first? Who are they going to sell the internet lead to? Who's going to get that opportunity? I'm not saying they always come to us and we don't always win, but I want to have that opportunity at least. And that's why our sales traffic, I believe, is our closing ratio's gone through the roof. Our sales traffic's gone down, but our sales have gone up. It's because of that. You know, we get them, they funnel towards us, they know what they want to buy. As long as we treat them properly, give them good service, they're going to end up buying from us.
So talk about your sales guy with the bushy eyebrows here. So when
Jealous.
when we first did a few videos, he came running up and said, "Hey Ryan, I had this customer come in. He asked for the guy with the bushy eyebrows." So my first reaction was kind of like, "Does he understand what he just said right now?" He's kind of making fun of himself, but in a good way. So, but at the same time, he said, the customer actually watched me on YouTube, came in and said, "Hey, I want to deal with the guy with the bushy eyebrows."
Yeah.
I mean, that's a huge statement in itself.
Yeah.
Like, that's massive. So before he even gets to the dealership, he's already got a guy in mind, even though he's never dealt with this salesperson in his life.
Yeah, that's the power. He's brand new, selling cars, young guy, full of energy, but he's always on his phone. He's always on a computer. But that's who, if he markets himself properly, his eyebrows are his unique feature.
Yes.
Yes. We bug him about it, but it is. That's his trademark.
Yes.
But he's so proud of that, and you know what? It's helping him sell cars. His family is up north and from Lac La Biche, and they're in the oil and gas industry. And he's just telling me this morning that I can't remember if it was his uncle or cousin or something like that. That when they do their meetings and training, because he's saying, "Hey, help me sell cars." We have a referral program, all the such. Now they're putting his YouTube video up at the start, and this is my nephew or my cousin eyebrows. Go talk to him at West End Nissan. Go check him out on YouTube. So you know what? That's the power of digital marketing. You're not going to get a guy holding up a newspaper ad and going, "This is eyebrows." It doesn't have the same impact.
No. And I mean, when I go out for service or car, food, whatever, going grocery store, I mean, my level of expectation for customer services has gone up because I feel like as a consumer, we have more resources, more research tools. I mean, when I walk into, say, a dealership, I potentially could know more about that specific model than the sales guy talking about it, because if I've been researching 3 to 6 months out on one model, I mean, these sales guys, they got to know all the models.
Yeah,
so you're not going to know one as intimate as, say, some guy sitting there studying it for 6 months. So does that make salespeople's jobs harder or more challenging, or do they just have to be better and more educated salespeople? Like, can you still kind of,
They have to be more educated, I believe. The product knowledge is huge. I think integrity, professionalism, because there is such a broad scope and so many options and equipment, you have to know where to find that information. So if, for example, if I don't know the answer to, we got a great new product, the 2014 Rogue, and I'll be the first to admit, I'm not the best at product knowledge. Maybe it's I take the GM card out and say I can, not have to know it as much. But if somebody I know asks me product knowledge about it, I don't refer them to their brochure or a piece. I go, check the internet, check our webpage. Or I'll do it with them. I'll go, okay, let me look that up for you. And I'm going to our webpage and Nissan Canada to look for that information so that we get the exact information, and it's right there.